Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator with Cookie Pirate. Today we're flying the Cirrus SR22 going from Monterey, California up to South Lake Tahoe. Looks like it's going to be a 49-minute flight. We're going at 15,000 feet. And it says 163 miles. Climb aboard, let's go flying. Alright, here we are loaded in right next to the fuel box. The first thing I'm going to do is release the parking brake and call for a pushback. Just give us a little bit of room to maneuver. We'll take a look out of the cockpit. That's a whole ton of fuel boxes right here. There's 8 of them right here, I think. Alright, that's enough of a pushback. And when we taxi out, we'll just maneuver to the right and be careful of the building. Back into the cockpit, let's go ahead and get the airplane configured. Battery switches on. Initialize. CDI to GPS. Whoa, what was that? A truck just drove right behind us. Alright, let's roll that up. 15,000 FLC on to 110. VNAV on. We'll leave nav and heading off for right now until we figure out what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead. Yep, mixtures. It should be full rich now. It should be starting an idle cutoff. Throttle full forward, had a little bit of a delay there. My second screen froze suddenly. Bump it back down. Now bump it forward just a tiny bit here. Clear that. Let's go ahead and turn the nav and strobe lights on. Let me make sure the parking brake... Okay, yeah, it is set now. That's important. If we started the engine and the parking brake wasn't set, we could start rolling, and that could be potentially dangerous. Clear! Alright. Engine instruments look good. The oil pressure is immediately into the green. The oil temperature is rising. And we've got the alternators on. Avionics on. Let's grab the weather while we're waiting for that to load. Here on the ground at Monterey. Clear skies, 10 miles visibility. Calm wind, which is nice. 14 Celsius and 30.06, that checks out. Zooming way in onto the map here. We're parked over here, so I think the easiest way for us to go is going to be runway 10 right. Out here, and with the air, you know, being pretty still, the wind is calm, and the track is almost 90 degrees off of the direction of the runways. I think we'll just take the shortest one. That there's runway heading set. So we'll actually turn nav and heading on. It actually shuts nav off when we do that. Alright, so we'll just do that in the air. We don't usually do this, but let's just go ahead and do a run-up right here. So first thing I'm going to do is power up to 1700 RPMs. That's a little much. I'm going to taper back on that a little bit. Touch more. Tad more up, come on. Good there. Alright. Mag check left, and then actually the right is good. Right is 2 clicks to the left. Back to both. Now 1 click checks the left magneto. Good drop, back to both. Engine instruments are all in the green. There's no warnings or errors or cautions. We'll go ahead and pull the power back to idle. Out of the cockpit real quick. Flight control check. Rudder's good. Elevator's good. Ailerons are good. Flaps are set to half. We're good. Let's go ahead and taxi. Parking brake released. And we're going to 10 right. So we're going to maneuver here. We do have to be careful of the building. If we clip a wing on the fuel tanks or the building, it will trigger a collision and we'll have to load back in and restart. Clear. And then we're going to turn right up here. Looks like we've got a truck in the way. Oh, nope, now he's moving. Looks like he had a flat tire. Kind of stuttered there for a moment. Clear there. And we come down right here. Okay, let's just make sure we're configured for takeoff. We don't have to do the run-up again. FLC is on 110, altitude is 15,000, heading is on, nav is off, VNav is on. Landing light, boost pump mixture's full rich, flaps are half. And we're good to go ahead. Just look, yep, final's clear, and if we take a look out that way, clear out over there too. Strawberry Jam, welcome. Came out just a little far. Let's get lined up on center here. 160 feet. Get off the runway! I saw that fire truck cross the runway up ahead of me. Alright, runway's clear, full power. Airspeed is already alive. Engine instruments look good. Looking for 77 knots. Up! Up! Come on! There we go. Alright, positive rate. We can bring the flaps up. Or just look to try to climb out at about 100 to 110. At 1,000 feet, we'll engage the autopilot and we'll begin to turn on course once we check our terrain clearances. Look at that! Beautiful view of the city of Monterey and Monterey Bay right off there. Out that way is a bunch of mountains. It's pretty too. Alright, 1,000 feet. Autopilot is engaged. Let me go ahead, zoom out on the map. Oh yeah, we're good to turn. Alright, so let's swing the heading around this way. And then we'll also go ahead and engage nav mode. Heading is on while we're in the turn. It'll disengage once we get on course. We can turn the landing light off, and we're still low above the ground. We'll leave full power for a moment, and then we'll pull back to cruise climb. Beautiful view back here is the airport. The city of Monterey, all right down here, Monterey Bay. Carmel by the Sea, Pebble Beach. The Pebble Beach golf course is right back here. And it's looks like a beautiful sunny, it's actually still morning. I was going to say beautiful sunny afternoon, but it's 11:30 in the morning California time. So here we are. Beautiful mountains out back that way. This is the city of Marina right here. Watsonville up there. Salinas is right over here, I believe. And then out there is kind of the Sierra Nevadas. Maybe not quite. Those I actually think are further back here. This is just another ridge. Yeah, it's a pretty view though. And we're up to 5,000 feet. Let's go back into the cockpit and go ahead and pull the power back. Go into 85. Not 85. It generally tends to be about 85%, but we want this number right here to be at 30.5. Actually need to bump that up a little bit more now. Come on now. Not that far. Come on. It's a little tricky to get it right where you... Need that bump just a little bit. Come on now. I'm having trouble setting it precisely right now. Alright, that's good there. We'll lean the mixture. We're looking for 20 gallons of fuel flow, and that power should peak at 89 to 90%. There we go. Alright. So cruise climb is set, and we're going up to 15,000 feet. Got a little ways to go. Quick look out of the cockpit. Ooh, the weather is not great around here. Looks like a lot of fog and low clouds. It's pretty over here. This is Salinas right here. And then Monterey right over here. Marina directly below us, and Watsonville. Oh, this may actually be Watsonville. That might be Marina further back. Check a map and look. Okay, you know, this is Marina. So yeah, Watsonville is up on that side there, which would be kind of right up over here. Turning us in a little bit to intercept the GPS track here. 5 Celsius, we need to go ahead and turn the pitot heat on. It will give an indicator after 4 Celsius. So we're good now. Turning on course. Let me pull the map up. Our route today, this is Monterey right down here, so we're a little bit south of the Bay Area, San Francisco, San Jose, all of that. We might get a glimpse of it, but with the low cloud cover, I don't know. Then we're going up over these mountains here. Then we're flying over the valley, Stockton, Modesto, Merced, Turlock, stuff like that. And then we'll be passing up over the Sierra Nevadas, actually into them. And our destination is South Lake Tahoe Airport. This is Lake Tahoe, of course. We'll have absolutely beautiful views. I've been in this airport before. Should be a pretty straightforward, I think it said 49-minute flight. Okay, no, it's updated to about 52 minutes. So, that's still not bad at all. Really a nice, easy flight this morning. Or afternoon. Yeah, so you can kind of see the coastline. This is Watsonville up here. Santa Cruz is over there. You really can't see the Bay Area well, unfortunately, because of the cloud and fog cover. I'm going to go ahead and pull Sky Vector up, and you can actually see all the weather that we're contending with here. We're going over it, so we don't really have to deal with it, per se. Okay, so over here, it's clear. You see these white and green dots. And white and green dots up here, the weather's great up by Lake Tahoe. But all over here, and in these areas in the Bay Area, airports in the Bay Area, you see a lot of blue and actually some red, and that's just indicating that the weather is not very good. There's low visibility or low cloud cover, so unfortunately that's gonna kind of limit our ability to see some of that stuff. But we should still be able to get some views of the mountains and stuff like that. Now here in the cockpit now, we're leveling off at our cruise altitude of 15,000 feet. It is -8 Celsius up here. That is about 18 Fahrenheit. And so we're just picking up speed. We're on our GPS track. We have a little bit of a tailwind, right about 8 knots, and a little bit of a crosswind too. Just a minimal correction for course. We can actually pull the mixture back a little bit more. Try to get to that 20.0 right there. Yep, that's good. Don't have to worry about icing as we're going above all the clouds. Flaps are up. We can turn the boost pump off. And yeah, we just sit back and relax. See what this is saying. It should be okay. Yeah, so about 40 minutes to, well, we're still accelerating, so it's going to be skewed just a little bit, but probably about 40 minutes. It's 41 and change right now. Once we reach cruise, it'll probably drop to about 39. Might end up doing another flight after this, but not immediately. I'll probably take a short break and then maybe load up another flight. I don't think I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, but I'm not sure. It really depends on when I decide to take care of this computer stuff that I need to do. I do plan on doing Planet Coaster tonight. But we'll see. I could change my mind. You know, plans can change. Might just decide to tackle what I need to. Oh, I turned the map off, but look, there's some interesting things on here. NOAA regulated National Marine Sanctuary designated areas. So actually these areas here, you're actually supposed to be 1,000 feet above, which, I mean, you really shouldn't be lower than that unless you're doing sightseeing, but even then, that's just telling you it's prohibited around here because of the marine wildlife protection, which is kind of interesting and nice. There's our airspace over Monterey right here. Is this purple circle, magenta, actually. When we cross up over a couple airports, we'll be flying almost directly over Modesto, which I think is about, yeah, it's about halfway, just a tad bit under. But we'll know when we're over Modesto that it's about a halfway point. Yeah, crummy weather up here, crummy weather back down here. The coast is nice. In the LA area, that's pretty nice today. Up around Lake Tahoe, really pretty area. And Reno would be a little bit further. Las Vegas would be a considerable way further out. Actually, yeah, it's way down there. Dale, what's going on, man? Don't fly over Venezuela. No, I don't plan on it. Alright, just a second here. Wrong screen there. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, ton of mountains. Off in the distance there, you can actually see some of the peaks. That's neat. They're snow-capped. And mountains up ahead. Unfortunately, the cloud cover is thickening over here, so we're really not going to be able to see much below us. You can see glimpses of these mountains out here, which is kind of nice. And then out back over, right over there is Monterey, where that's the airport where we took off, and this is the city of Monterey and the bay. So yeah. Well, you can just barely make traces of the bay area out over here, but unfortunately the visibility doesn't even let me kind of point out what everything is, where it is. I just know it's up over here, kind of all in that. So, foggy. I'll jump back into the cockpit here. Let's go ahead and switch the fuel tank. We're getting close to that maximum difference between whenever that fuel imbalance indicator pops up that I grumble about because I forget to switch it. It means that one tank has at least 9 more gallons than the other tank, and that is a condition that you want to prevent. So, just for weight and balance purposes and the ability to turn the plane and everything like that. That's not a critical situation, but it is something that you do want to avoid. And just good fuel management of switching the tanks. some prop planes, but not many, Cessnas in particular are the ones that do, will actually have a fuel selector that allows you to choose both, so it'll pull an equal amount from both sides of the plane. Now when you fly over really thick clouds like this, it actually is kind of pretty. Even though you can't really see the ground below, it is a pretty view, just being above, you know, all the dense cloud cover like that. And it actually gets really impressive when you actually descend into it and you're flying just over it, and then you break into it. It's even better when you're climbing through it and you break out on top. It's like poking your eyes through a blanket. It's just kind of a cool effect. Look at the mountains out back that way. That's pretty. And of course you've got all that over there. And back in, let's see how we're doing on time. Right about 30 minutes remaining. So, if I pull the chart back up, let's get a little information about the airport. 6,200 feet is the elevation, and the runway is basically north-south. We'll determine which way we need to go when we get closer and can pull the weather up. So we really, I don't think we'll be descending below about 8,000 to 9,000 feet, so we really don't need to descend for quite a while. This isn't going to be like going in at ground level. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately with the weather the way it is, there's not much to see over here. In the background there is, once the clouds break, we'll be over the mountains and the scenery will be quite beautiful. But if you just look at all of that out over that way. Same, oh, there's even more, it extends further that way. And then just a few mountains kind of peeking up over, and then it clears up back that way. That is pretty. I'm sure we're still way too far away to get the weather, but why not just check? Yeah, I was right. Yeah, you can't see anything down here at all. The clouds are so thick, but we would be, well, we're about to pass right over Modesto, which is a decent-sized city in the middle of the valley up here. But, yeah, you can't see anything, so... Wow. Oh, well, look at that. You can actually see just a couple mountains kind of poking up. Kind of like here and there. Right here is the most prominent. And then you got one back there. You got one over there, too. But, yeah. Other than that, it just looks like we're flying over a big sheet of cotton balls. What do you do? It is breaking up ahead, though, which is nice. So we're gonna get some good views coming in to the mountains here. My dishwasher just finished, so I need to take a couple things out and dry them down. We got plenty of time to go, so. Called multitasking, or adulting, and having fun at the same time. Alright, there we go. That's done. Doesn't take too much time. Let's see, are we close enough to pick the weather up now? I'm guessing we still may be a little bit far away. Yeah, we can grab it from the map if we need to. It'll only take us about 7 to 8 minutes to descend down to where we need to. And we've got, yeah, 20 minutes en route remaining. So, just now we can start to see the thick clouds starting to break up. There's still a little bit of fog or haze down here. But you can see some of these Mountain ridges, little bit of a breakout over this way. You can see like some towns and stuff. But this is basically the western edge of the Sierra Nevadas. Way down that way would be Yosemite National Park. Right back out over that way is the whole field of cotton balls. And then the mountains kind of in the direction that we took off. Get some higher peaks out over here that you can kind of see sticking up above that stuff. Wind is shifting a little bit now. It's we're still getting about a 4-knot headwind or tailwind. I'm sorry, but the crosswind is a little bit stronger. Like right below us, there's some sort of a lake with some kind of mountains in the area. Looking to see when that weather is going to be available, because we'll need it to see what approach we need to take getting into South Lake Tahoe. Really more so what direction we need to land. The weather should be fine. We can do a visual. I just want to prepare accordingly. Couple towns, couple lakes out over there, and yeah, here's where it starts getting a little bit more mountainous with the lakes around and stuff like that. And yeah, 57 miles away, we should be able to get that weather. Okay, there we go. We've got it. Alright, 1953 Zulu, that is not telling us anything about the wind. It just says auto. So... nah. 10 miles visibility though, clear skies, 9 on the ground above, that's 48 Fahrenheit, 30.13. So let's go ahead and... Oh, there we go. 30.13 right there. And let's see what are our options. Yeah, all of the options are for 1.8 with the exception of setting up a visual for 3.6. Let me take a look at the map here. Oh, and that's why there's super high terrain to the south of it. So yeah, we'll probably end up having to break off this way, come up a little over the lake, and fly in. We'll choose the visual 1.8 since the visibility is good, and we know that for a fact. So we'll set load, but not activate. I'm going to pull the map up and see kind of how it's routing us for the approach. It's taking us over the airport, flying one of these kind of teardrop turns around to come back in. We could do that. Or we could save a little time and set the GPS fix direct to here. Should take us over the town, kind of out around. I think we'll do that. That's usually what I prefer to do. So let's go ahead, set direct there, and it's going to give us a slight turn. Still top of descent is not for a while. Hey, look out back here, the thick clouds and everything have kind of given way to a more thin layer of fog or mist down here. And then up ahead it clears up and we get the beautiful Sierra Nevadas ahead. Man, this has turned out to be much lower key of a flight than I was expecting to, but I mean, sometimes that's nice. It's easy, a little more relaxing. I love planes. What's going on, man? Good to see ya. Yeah, the view's prettier over there. And we still have a ways to go before top of descent, so... Let me go ahead and zoom in just another notch here. We'll take a look outside. Oh, there we go. That is pretty. Get a couple more prominent peaks, but the mountains get even higher up there. Now, I'm not totally sure if the lake sits right back here, or if it's kind of further back. I think it's right in this area. There might be a way to... If we zoom way out and look... Nah, you still can't really see. Yeah, but look at all that out there. I mean, that's part of... We haven't really been able to see much because of that. Alright, back into the cockpit here. Alright, let me check our safe altitudes. 10,500 is the lowest we're going to be able to go for now until we're over the lake. And then we're going to have to, like, book it. So we're probably going to end up setting up vectors or something like that. Because by the time we cross over that ridge... Yeah. Alright, so this is getting a little interesting here. Alright. I'm going to set this down to 10,500 for the moment. Oh, too far. There we go. Oh, we need to pull back on the power just a little bit. And the reason for that, our airspeed's going into the yellow, and it is a little bit turbulent coming over these mountains. We need to be below that yellow. Let's pull back to 75% on the power there. We'll leave the mixture where it is. And that happens when you start passing over mountain ridges. You get what is called mountain wave turbulence, which is just disruption of the air as it moves up and down over the various terrain. I'm looking on the chart. I'm not seeing any indication of any intense turbulence or anything like that, but it is something that is possible given this kind of terrain. Intensive glider activity up to 18,000 feet. Like, you look right here, this is over that way, and then up here. Not really as much over here. But you do get that glider activity. Yeah, 168, we're about better there. Okay, you can see the lake now, just a little bit. But that's it right there. Yep. I wasn't totally sure, but I thought so. It's getting a little bit bumpier. Alright, the VNAV is about to take over. And once it starts us downward, we're going to pull the power back. I know, about 35 to 40%. No worries, man. Let's pull that power. Gonna enrich in the mixture just a little bit. We want that to be between 10 and 11 at the bottom of the green over here. Felt like doing a long haul. Where are you going? I'm going to turn the topographic terrain on this. you can see even better kind of what we're dealing with, because these are starting to get really high, and there's a reason we can't really viably come in and land that direction. We could, but it would be, we'd have to circle and circle. Now I'm gonna turn it back to relative, because that'll start giving us the colors, the green, the yellow, so we can see relative to us exactly where the mountain peaks are that we need to beware of. Newark to Los Angeles. Ooh, wow, yeah, that's a long flight. What, probably about 5 hours? 5.5, something like that. Yeah. That's not my cup of tea. I know a lot of people love it. I like doing shorter stuff. And there's no way I would stream a 5-hour flight. I mean, I could, potentially in phases, but I would not do the whole thing. You know this. I mean, most of the time I've limited my flights to, you know, 30, 45, an hour. Rarely are my flights more than about an hour and 15 minutes. And the one that I did in New Zealand on Thursday was, I think it ended up being like an hour and 25 minutes or something like that. It was fun. I don't know why I'm doing it. LOL, I hate long hauls. So switch it up. Maybe make a stop somewhere. I don't know, man. Unless you want to, like, sit on the computer and kind of, if you can, if you have the ability to do other stuff while you just run the flight, you know, do on an additional screen. Ooh, yeah, this is getting bumpy. So that mountain wave turbulence is actually starting to hit a fair bit. So right here, this is the airport. And we're going to be coming in from this direction over the water. Still keeping my eye on the map. We can actually zoom in a bit. But I think what we're going to do is once we get to beam the airport, so basically when our wing is off the side, or the airport is off the side of our wing, I should say, we're going to fly out over the water, give ourselves plenty of room to descend and set up. And go from there. You see how this keeps pitching down and up because the descent rate is not stable because of the turbulence. Alright, we're okay right there. We can continue down to 10,000. Where in California is this? Give me a second. Yeah, we're clearing that fine. And the heading is not activated yet, but I want to get it about parallel to the runway, kind of like that. It's really like 360, straight north is going to work. So we'll go with that there. The wind is pushing us around a little bit. We're passing over this terrain, but we do have the height clearance. So we're good. Directly below us, this is 500 feet below us, so we're safe. And legal. Compliant. And oh, look at that, a couple miniature lakes right over here. Wow. Whoa, take a look at that right there. This like jagged lake sitting right up here on top of these mountain things. That is absolutely wild. That's pretty cool though. Yeah, you get a lot of smaller lakes up through here. I hate flying in mountains. I missed the top of one by 10 feet in X-Plane. Hey, well, at least you missed it. Oh, I can just imagine how mad you would have been if you'd actually hit it. That would be pretty sucky. Alright, back into the cockpit here. We're coming up abeam the airport. We are safe to descend. Airport elevation, I think it said, was 6,600 feet. Let me double check that. No, 6,260. Okay. So, I think we need to book it down to about... 7,300 would be 1,000 feet. We can do that over the water. So we're going to turn VNAV off, and we're going to turn the vertical speed on, and set that descent to about 1,000 feet per minute, and we're going to pull back on the power some more. Try to keep the speed that we're at right now, because we don't want to gain too much distance as we're descending. That just adds to the flight time. Now we're going to turn the heading select on and break off the GPS track. Alright, while I've got that set up for I Love Planes, let me pull the map up for you. So, this is Lake Tahoe, which is in Northern California, right on the boundary of Nevada. Kind of runs like that. We took off out of Monterey, which is right over here. Monterey Bay, just a little bit south of like San Jose and San Francisco. And we flew over the valley, all of this here, which was clouded over. And we're up in the Sierra Nevadas now. Alright, quick look outside. I don't have a lot of time to look around without being distracted to fly the airplane. You've got like a little community here. I guess you can take boats out onto the lake, and it's like a little lagoon or something like that. That's really neat. And then this over here is Nevada, on this side of the lake. All of this over here is California. But all of this is Nevada. Minden and Carson City are back in that valley over there. Just on the opposite side of the lake. I've actually flown into there a couple times. Or in or out, I don't remember. But yeah, beautiful view. It's a good sized lake. Just the view of the mountains around and everything. Alright. And we can actually go half flaps below one. Oops, sorry about the spike there. Below 150. So I'm gonna do that. We're gonna bump the power up just a little bit here. Right there to about 30%. Now I'm gonna go into here, activate vector to final. What that's gonna do is just turn the approach track on for us, and this is telling us we're actually at about the glide path. So we want to fly under it a little bit, swing around and intercept it over there. Look at the terrain map though. A ton of red, ton of yellow. The lake is less than 2,000 feet below us. And then this valley over here, you can see how much lower it sits. Alright. We're going to level off, we're going to bleed some speed. Let's get the plane circled back around. I'm going to set a 90-degree turn. Quick view outside. Not only just to look around, but to kind of clear the area. Back in. And we're going to have to yank that turn again. We're actually below 110. We can go fall flaps. We'll need to add the power back in to fly level since we're not on the approach course. The other thing we can do is actually turn nav back on and approach mode on. And the plane might actually fly it for us. It may not, though. No, oh, no. Hold on, what's going on? So we gotta turn that back on to intercept. It did not want to pick up the approach track. I don't like when it does that, but whatever. We just correct. We're at 80 knots, we're slow, so we actually need to add a bit of power in. Now we're leveled off out of the turn. And we're just coming in to intercept that. Let's see if it wants to now. Yeah, it's turning to grab us on course. Butter this one. I'm trying. Yeah, here we go. It's turning back in. Alright, final items. We need to do landing light on. Boost pump on. Mixture full rich. Let me just check the tanks. Yeah, let's actually switch it to the left. Don't usually do that. Let's get our speed down right to 80 knots. So pull back to about 35% power. Do we have updated weather? Let me just check real quick. Oh, that's Monterey. Whoops. Okay. Still all the same. Alright, here we go. Disconnect the autopilot, and we're going to fly this by hand. Untrim. Let's get it retrimmed. Yeah, that's pretty good. Got a gentle crosswind from the right. So let's get angled back over. We're just keeping an eye on this purple diamond right here. If it's in the center, we're good. Right now, we're just a tiny bit low. You can also see the Pappy over off the side of the runway. It has 1 white light and 3 reds, so just a touch low. But we've got a pretty stable approach right now, so we're looking good. I'm not sure why that crosswind indicator is on. The crosswind is very gentle. It's only about 2 knots off our right. Just a touch low, but we're trimmed out nicely. We could flare that just a little bit more. Now we're very low, this says. Although not really. I mean, because the purple diamond isn't that far off. I don't know. I'm trusting that. I mean, I know we're clear of all of this here. We're looking good. Coming up over the runway. Let's take that power down. Start flaring here. Nice and easy. No. Not bad. Actually skipped it more than I wanted to. It actually, the approach was great, and then I don't know. Seemed like it scuffed a little bit. This is not a bad landing though. Can we stop here in time? Nah, I'm not gonna try it. So we're gonna put the power back in and just roll. We're gonna pull the flaps up, and we're just gonna high speed roll down the runway. We'll take that next turn. Alright, let me get caught up here. PC2 today? Most likely yes. But that could change. That will probably be tonight. I'm planning to do another flight in a little while. Take a break after this. Alright, let's get stopped. Oh, this is a high-speed turn. That's easy. Butter. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Wasn't perfect like I was hoping. I was hoping to grease it totally, but nah, this was... repeat of the song. Oh well, you know what? We're just about done anyway. They do have custom scenery for this airport. Look at that building. It is pretty. Alright, we'll come back up and take a look at the scenery around here. The mountains are absolutely gorgeous. Got a decent crowd. I was saying what I would probably do is end the stream, take a short break, and come back in a little bit, set the next one up. I do not expect that it would be any more than 30 minutes. And it might actually be even less. Ooh, excuse me. Alright, we're getting marshaled right here. Alright, there we go. Parking brake set. Oh, strobe lights on. Landing light off. Pitot heat can come off. Boost pump off. Mixture up. Flaps are confirmed up. And now we can begin the shutdown. Alright, avionics. Alternator switches. Now we're going to go idle cutoff on the mixture. Ended up being a 57-minute flight, and I think we'd planned on 49 or like 51. I don't remember exactly. You fly Reno to Vegas next one. I don't know. I would have to look and see kind of how long that would take. It could be fun. But I'd have to look. We'll consider something like that. Maybe going into one of those. Gotta go see you. Alright, I love planes. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good one. Maybe we'll catch you later. Alright, let's clear that. Lights off. Mags off. Everything else is off. Should be short and quick. Not necessarily. Not in this plane. And batteries off. And look at the view. Beautiful mountains in all directions, well, except that way, because there's the lake. And then, really beautiful handcrafted airport. This is very pretty. Alright. So welcome to South Lake Tahoe, California. And, yeah, hope you enjoyed the flight. We'll be back in a little while, probably within the next 30 minutes to do another one. That could change. But I'm planning in the next 30 minutes or so to get back on with another flight. Maybe even a little bit later. I'm planning on PC2 tonight. All my plans for streaming tonight are a little bit up in the air and kind of flexible on time. But I do plan on it. So, stay tuned. Managed to get a quad down with a head chopper on my next RMC hybrid. Oh, wow. That's going to be fun to check out. So, anyway, I'm going to drop for now. Thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you hopefully in a little while here. And as always, until then, take care, stay safe, and we'll see ya.